Ensure forthrightness in intelligence sharing across borders to check terrorism. A plea by President Muhammadu Buhari to world leaders.
7 suspected cases of monkeypox has been reported in the FCT.
No monkeypox in Abuja, Federal Capital Territory Administration reassures residents. 5 students on excursion drown in Kaduna River. Good evening and a warm welcome to NTA Network News, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital city. I am Ayinde Shuaga. In our Lagos Network Center is Jennifer Igwe, and Fatai Adieloja is in Ibadan. One of the resolutions from last Wednesday's Federal Executive Council meeting is the plan to take a critical look on private practice, PP, by medical directors in public health institutions. Bakassi Taikpang has the reaction of Nigerians and other issues on the federal government pronouncement.
Council has also decided to look into the issue of private practice by medical doctors in the public sector, and a committee has been set up to look extensively into that issue.
Reasons given believe that private practice by doctors in public health institutions is against the law of the land.
He means that to improve, standardize the healthcare system in Nigeria. I think I'm 110% supporting what the action the president has done.
It will give hope to the citizenry, or at least they will be confident that if you go to the public hospital, you see doctor.
What if the doctor is trained in a particular area where the government does not have the facility, and there is somewhere else that facility exists to deliver service, and you say the doctor should not go there to deliver service?
Maybe doctors are going on strike now because of one thing or the other. Then people are in the critical condition. That person needs to be rushed to the private hospital.
Some see them as a welcome development, but stress the need for the federal government to look into the Medical and Dental Council, which has existed without a board for more than 2 years.
Doctors play a critical role. If their activities are not regulated and checked, their loyalty is divided, and then their commitment to service is also in doubt.
There are 42,000 registered doctors with annual production of about 3,000. Bakassi Taikpang, NTA News.
Dr. Hassan Umar Adamu, second vice president, Nigerian Medical Association, is in our Ibadan network studio to speak to the issue. Welcome to NTA Network News. The federal government has set up a committee to look into private practice by medical doctors in the public sector. If the NFA is to make a submission to the committee, what will it be?
Thank you very much, Ayinde, for having me. First of all, I'm happy you have corrected the wrong perception by the public, because reading from some online media outfits yesterday, they were reporting that the federal government has banned private medical practice by medical doctors. Listening to the Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Folorunsho Adeole, you will know that he mentioned the formation and approval of a committee to look into the issue of private medical practice by medical doctors, which is a welcome development to the enemy. The issue is simple. We are always ready to partner with government to improve the healthcare delivery system in Nigeria, and private medical practice has been, as a result of some orders, Order 1 and 2 of 1992, that exempted professions like that of the medical doctors from the complete exemption list as contained in Decree 34 of 1984, which prohibits all other professions from private practice. We are all aware of the contents of the 1999 Constitution as amended in the 5th schedule, paragraph 2, 5th schedule, part 2, paragraph 2A, that barred all public servants from engaging in any form of of private practice, except farming. We, as an association of the umbrella body of all doctors in Nigeria, are very much in tune with the realities, and we are law-abiding citizens of this country, and we are ready to partner with the government to improve healthcare delivery system in Nigeria.
Sector. What should be the relationship between professionals in the public health sector?
Well, the issue of relationship of professionals in the public healthcare sector, we are all working as a team, but of course the doctor, being the leader of the medical team, is the one responsible for steering the affairs of healthcare delivery in our various hospitals. We don't have any grudges or issues with government in trying to bring about sanity to the healthcare system. That is why we are happy with the pronouncements by the Minister of Health yesterday on the issue of no work, no pay, which was also discussed at the Federal Executive Council meeting. We as NMA have never at any point in time go against the issue of no work, no pay. What we are saying is we don't like selective implementation of the law. As you
What's your counsel first to government and then your members? What's your counsel first to government and then your members?
Well, I will advise government that the best solution to regulation of medical practice is done by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. As contained in the report that was aired earlier, this is a council that has been disbanded right from the 15th of July 2015, almost 2 years. And without the council in place, which was erroneously disbanded alongside other boards of institutions of government, you cannot effectively regulate medical practice in Nigeria. And that is why I'm calling on government to reconstitute the board of Medical and Dental Council. To constitute the council, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, and other boards of tertiary health institutions in Nigeria for effective healthcare delivery system.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hassan Umar Adamu, second Vice President of the Nigerian Medical Association.
Thank you very much for having me.
To enforce no work, no pay rule is being described as the right step in the right direction, as it would curb incessant industrial strike across the country. This is the view of Nigerian Employees Consultative Association. Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
Section 42(1) and 43 of the Trade Disputes Act 2004 provide that where any worker takes part in a strike, he or she shall not be entitled to any wages or other remuneration for the period of the strike. The Nigerian Employers Consultative Association says that principle has been adopted to strengthen productivity in the private sector over time.
We must commend the federal government of Nigeria for waking up at last. For a very long time, government has been sleeping on its rights.
Since industrial dispute disrupts work and causes loss of wages and disorganizes the economy, the International Labour Organization wants fundamental issues that lead to industrial disharmony to be addressed to promote industrial peace.
If at all the national legislation prescribes the process to be followed in striking, and this process is not followed, then really the employer has the rights within the law to take appropriate action, which one of them being the fact that if the worker does not work, then they will not be paid. But in a situation where the workers take the due process, go through the law as prescribed, and then there's no agreement on the grievance, then they should resort to strike at the very end.
The need for a review of industrial harmony law is being advocated to guard against high incidences of industrial strike. Emmanuel Ayimiro, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has made a case for world leaders to forge strategic alliance and also ensure forthrightness in intelligence sharing across borders so as to curb the growing sophistication in global terrorism. The president stated this while receiving letters of credence from 3 new ambassadors posted to Nigeria. State House correspondent Adamu Sambu has details.
A colorful diplomatic ceremony holding for the first time this year to formally give a befitting welcome to the new envoys. The new ambassadors include those of Egypt, Asim Mohammed Hanafi El Saifi, Benin Republic, Marceline Paulette Ajovi Yekpe, and Mexico, Alejandro Garcia Moreno Elizandro. With enormous pleasure and pride, the ambassadors separately presented their letters of credence to President Muhammadu Buhari. This formally confirmed their status as representatives and maximum diplomatic authorities of their respective countries in Nigeria. The Nigerian leader interacted with the new envoys one after the other on the unique and long-standing bonds of friendship between Nigeria and their countries, as well as opportunities for greater collaboration and cooperation towards deepening the scope of the relationships. The president, however, told the envoys that the threat of global terrorism is getting more sophisticated by the day, hence the need for concerted efforts by leaders to check the trend. The recent attacks in some developed countries like the United Kingdom, he said, is a wake-up call for global collaboration and review of security architectures across border lines. President Buhari noted that such collaboration contributed immensely towards bringing under control the Boko Haram attacks in parts of the West African sub-region and Cameroon. The Egyptian ambassador in particular told the president that building partnership to tackle the security challenges faced by Nigeria and his country would be one of his top priorities, saying a relationship had already been established between the security outfits of the two countries. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has reappointed Mr. Uchechi Oji as Managing Director of the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority for another tenure of 5 years. A statement by Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, says President Buhari has also approved the nomination of Professor Isa Hayatu Chiroma as Director General of the Nigerian Law School. Professor Chiroma is to succeed Mr. Olanrewaju Onodeko, who is due for retirement. Again, President Muhammadu Buhari warmly felicitates with Owa Obokun of Ijesha Land, Oba Gabriel Adekunle Aromolaran II, who turns 80. The president, in a statement by the spokesman, Femi Adesina, acknowledged this historic might and entrepreneurship prowess of Ijesha Kingdom, extols the maturity and wisdom of the royal father in administering his domain, consistently ensuring peace and development, as well as promoting a strong appetite for education and commerce among his people. President Buhari believes that the octogenarian monarch, who has been on the throne for 35 years, has successfully sustained the heritage of his ancestors on tolerance and good neighborliness. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo was in Bonny, Rivers State earlier today for a groundbreaking ceremony of a proposed Bonny-Bodo road and bridge projects. The multi-billion naira project is to be funded by the federal government and the management of NLNG. The Vice President was given a rousing welcome to Bonny Kingdom. Details of the visit will come to you in our subsequent bulletins. Local drivers have recovered 3 bodies of 5 students from a private secondary school who drowned in Kaduna River, while 2 others are still missing. Abdullahi Mohammed has details.
Tears and frustration from the families of the missing students who came on an excursion to the facilities of the Kaduna State Water Board more than 24 hours ago. A number of them were said to have boarded these floating barge with a view to observe the process of water purification. Unfortunately, the suspended bridge, which serves as a link to the floating barge, gave way and the floating barge overturned, leaving 9 people struggling for their lives.
If we can be able to carry that container, because we are suspecting maybe some of them were trapped down there.
The parents of these children are still keeping vigil, hoping that their bodies might be found here. Unfortunately, this overturned barge that you're seeing behind me may be concealing the bodies of the missing children. And the process of overturning this barge is slow. In Kaduna, Abdullah Muhammad, NT News.
The House of Representatives has resolved to investigate what he described as the deplorable condition of the State House Clinic, Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Ignatius Nkwo reports.
At a stakeholders meeting on reproductive, maternal and child nutrition in Abuja, the wife of the president, Aisha Buhari, observed that the State House Clinic is not in good condition. The disappointment expressed from certain quarters in the country over the observation of the wife of the president triggered this resolution on the floor of the House of Representatives.
The House further notes that in 2015, 2016, and 2017 appropriation acts, the clinic was allocated the sum of 3.94 billion naira, 3.87 billion naira, 3.2 billion naira respectively for upgrading and provision of necessary drugs and equipment.
And let's wait until the hard facts emerges, or when the hard facts emerge, then we can, in an enlightened and informed manner, address the issues.
The need for an upward review of the national minimum wage resonated on the floor, moved by Representative Peter Bakassi. The House, in another motion, urged security agencies to strengthen security in Plateau State and ensure that those involved in the recent killing of some people in Barkin-Ladi, local government area of Plateau State, are apprehended and brought to book, as moved by Representative Stephanus Gyang, Timothy Gulu, Bulus Marin, and Edward Pajok from the state.
Mandate NEMA to provide building materials to assist in the reconstruction of the affected communities. 5 bills were passed for second reading. 7 bills were read for the first time, while the House received the report of its Committee on Aviation. From the National Assembly, Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
There is no confirmed case of monkeypox disease in the Federal Capital Territory. FCT Health and Human Services Secretariat gave this assurance while debunking rumors of an alleged outbreak in the capital city. Over now to Hakimat Aliyu for details.
The Secretary, FCT Health and Human Services Secretariat, Amanda Pam, confirmed to newsmen that there were 7 reported suspected cases of monkeypox from hospitals within the city.
7 suspected cases of monkeypox has been reported in the FCT. 3 from the National Hospital, 2 from the Gwarimpa General Hospital, 1 from the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Gwagwalada, and 1 from the Nyanya General Hospital. The team from the FCTA Department of Public Health swung into action and investigated the cases and concluded that the history, symptom, and sign do not fit into the clear definition of monkeypox.
The Health Secretary assured FCT residents that there is no confirmed outbreak, stating that the Public Health Department has a good structure for disease surveillance.
No confirmed case of monkeypox in the FCT.
FCT residents are, however, advised to take precautionary measures and avoid contact with animals, especially monkeys and rodents that could transmit monkeypox. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliyu, NTA News.
An estimated 2.7 million people are reported to be visually impaired in Nigeria, with children constituting 2.1% of this number. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to mark Sight Day, Uche Nwizu takes a look at the cases and prevention of blindness.
An estimated 253 million people, WHO reports of 2015-2016, say live with one vision impairment or another. 36 million of this number are blind, while 217 million have moderate to severe vision impairment. Experts enumerate causes of sight loss to include glaucoma, cataracts, and complications from diabetes, with 1 out of every 5 persons living with sight loss in their lifetime. Hence the need for regular checkup.
Like we know that the eye is the light of the body. Without the eyes, we can't see, we can't do anything.
Some visual problems can be corrected, can be prevented. And then its effects also averted, since some of them are preventable.
This year's World Sight Day, with the theme Make Vision Count, is focused on children.
By this activity, government and policymakers to focus on eye care needs of our country. There are so many challenges, and we need to take eye care issues very seriously in our nation.
As part of the celebration in Nigeria, experts and advocates in eye care embarked on a walk around major streets of Abuja to enlighten the public on symptoms, effects, and prevention of vision impairment. A visual corridor was also unveiled at a primary school in Abuja for self-examination. Uche Nwizu, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Ahead on the news tonight, increased focus on private sector-led diversification as the 23rd Economic Summit ends in Abuja. Details when we return.
From 1967 to 1970, Nigeria went through a horrifying civil war. It didn't matter who was wrong or right. Everybody suffered. Those who fought that war say it should never happen again.
So a lot of people will say, but you were leading the first one. Yes, I led the first one. I don't think a second one is necessary. We should have learned from that first one. Otherwise, the dead would have been to no avail, would all have been in vain.
The words of our elders are full of wisdom.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Madam,
Welcome, sir.
give me a bar.
Okay.
Correct. One or more. Same.
Okay.
This not the levels of MTN. I will for you. I will for me. I will try for everybody. Thanks for I will for me. I will for me. I will for me. I will for everybody.
With MTN, I will for you. Every day now jolly oh. Anytime when you recharge from 100 naira, MTN go summer you 4 times your recharge. Where you fit take call, text or browse. Meaning say you will get 4 times the value. Chai! Just dial *888 star the recharge pin hash to enjoy this better woo. This offer now for only MTN prepaid and postpaid customers. Terms and conditions they shall.
MTN, everywhere you go.
2017 Convocation and Commissioning of Abuja Ultra Modern Hospital. 28 October, 10 a.m. Convocation Lecture. The place and continued relevance of private university in Nigeria by Professor Peter Okebukola. 11:30 a.m. Commissioning of Abuja Ultra Modern Hospital in partnership with Astor of Dubai and Abbott Laboratories, USA, to provide international healthcare. 12:30 p.m. Fundraising and endowment. 7:30 p.m. Founders Dinner and Awards. 21st October, 10 a.m. Convocation of 864 students and the conferment of honorary degrees on Professor Peter Okebukola and Dr. Douglas Jackson. chairperson of Project Cure USA. Expected guests from the Presidency, National Assembly, American Embassy, Ministers of Health and Education, NUC Executive Secretary Professor Rashid Abubakar, Registrar, Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Dr. T.A.B. Sanusi, Supreme Court judges, other judicial staff, members of the bar, vice chancellors, traditional leaders, and dignitaries from USA, Dubai, India, Britain, Denmark, and Nigeria. Abward, providing the missing link.
Makes a Niger mom powerful.
I encourage my kids to learn new things, and if they get hurt, I rely on the power of my Dettol's One Capful to fight germs.
My family needs protection from germs. I use the power of Dettol's One Capful to disinfect surfaces and clothes.
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Be a powerful Niger mom with Dettol. Be 100% sure.
Nigeria is a strong emerging world economy with a population of over 170 million people. With the diligent work of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, in line with the federal government's economic diversification agenda, SON has put in place accredited laboratories to ensure that made in Nigeria products meet international standards and ready for export. SON regularly conducts products registration, certifications, factory inspections, monitoring, a metrology laboratory to get accurate measurements, while SONCAP checks the conformity of imported products and the SON Legal Act to prosecute offenders. Don't sell and don't buy substandard products. Before you buy, look well. See something, say something, or call these numbers. SON, improving life through standards.
The new Cowbell Choco formula has been stolen. Get it back at all costs.
Great tasting new Cowbell Choco gives you the get up and go to be at the top of your game. Now with Vitarich Plus Iron. New great tasting Cowbell Choco, a creamy chocolatey drink that helps give energy to get up and go.
The National Institute for Legislative Studies, Office of the Senior Special Assistants to the President of the National Assembly and the European Union welcome all invited political stakeholders to a two-day national summit on intergovernmental and inter-party relations and the budget process reform for sustainable development in Nigeria. Participants include members of the National Assembly, members of the 36 state houses of assembly, ministries, departments and agencies, political parties, CSOs and academics. Keynote speech, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, addressed by the Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki, CON, and the Speaker, House of Representatives Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara. Venue, Nikon Luxury Hotel, date 17th October 2017, time 10 a.m. A banquet dinner at 7 p.m. at the banquet hall of the State House. Announcer, Professor Ladi Hamalai, MFR, Director General.
Helen! Your kitchen gets 10 out of 10. Thank you. This also gets a 10. Should we see the toilet now? Sure. This gets just 1.
It is clean.
But not perfect 10.
Better than my detergent and bleach? Impossible.
Challenge? Try the new Apic 10X.
Compared to bleach and detergent, Apic sticker formulation removes yellow stains times better, giving you a sparkling clean toilet.
Wow.
Now you also take that
Apic 10X challenge.
Also available in 200 ml pack.
Do you know that the Nigerian police now operates in the best international practices of policing? Do you know that the Nigerian police has been restructured to be more accountable and responsive to all your security challenges? Now, what the police demand from you is your trust, your collaborative efforts by providing necessary information about criminals and their activities in your neighborhood. Be vigilant. To achieve our creed as we promise, we shall police the country based on international core values of policing with integrity. We shall ensure that rule of law prevails in our actions and activities. We shall respect diversity, display courage, show compassion, and demonstrate professionalism. We shall operate within the principle of democratic policing. We shall shun corruption, and we shall make Nigeria safer and secured under the leadership of IGP Ibrahim Otum Idris.
Let the wind of change blowing across the country chase away crime for the benefit of our society. Yes, the Nigerian police says this change must come with peace and tranquility.
This message was brought to you by the Public Relations Department of the Nigerian Police Force.
Thank you for rejoining us on NTA Network News. Nigeria is set to strategically engage Brazil in livestock production and social intervention programs. The deal was reached between the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Jeffrey Onyema, and his Brazilian counterpart, Aloysio Ferreira, in Abuja. Gabriel Odu reports.
Nigeria has a population of about 34.5 million goats, 22.1 million sheep, and 13.9 million cattle. But as it stands, Nigeria lacks technological development in livestock production, which enabled Brazil to achieve an outstanding position in the international market.
We did discuss the possibility of us taking part in some of the very effective food programs they have. And then also Brazil has experimented with in a number of other areas, especially social inclusion. And as you know, in our economic recovery and growth program, we have social intervention as a very important ingredient.
Brazilian and Nigerian investors, they met to prospect possibilities of partnership, and some of them are already engaged.
Nigeria does not only have historical ties with Brazil, but also cultural and sports relations. Minister of Foreign Affairs in Abuja, Gabriel Odu, NTA News.
The sum of 75 billion naira was appropriated for the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development for the implementation of various capital projects under the 2017 Appropriation Act, but only 30 billion naira was released, out of which 14.9 billion naira was utilized. The Minister, Audu Ogbe, stated this while briefing Senate Committee on Agriculture and Rural Development on the 2017 budget. Defense correspondent, the National Assembly correspondent, Ifeanyi Ezumba reports.
The minister also said that the process for the utilization of the balance of 15 billion naira is in progress, stressing that one of the biggest problems impeding growth in the economy is accessing funds.
Is it possible that we can develop a methodology that is unique, that's peculiar, to address the issue of how we make our investment by government in agriculture sure?
Two things you raised now which are a very serious concern. This issue of seasons and agric. If the season is past, it is past. So whatever you are doing now is only for next year in our ministry. There's very little irrigation here, just about 1% of agric. So we've been discussing this matter. Is it possible to free the agric ministry from certain constraints so it can flow all year round?
While thanking the Senate Committee on Agriculture for their support, the minister emphasized that the ministry is aware of the lifespan of the 2017 budget and will take all necessary measures to ensure the implementation of the projects as appropriated. From the National Assembly, Ifeanyi Ezumba, NT News.
The Senate has referred to the Committee on Local and Foreign Debts the request by President Muhammadu Buhari for approval of external loans for the issuance of $2.5 billion to finance the 2017 budget and $3 billion to refinance domestic debt. National Assembly correspondent Dennis Adegunloye reports on this and the passing through third reading of the presidential inauguration bill.
The Senate also received executive communications from President Muhammadu Buhari requesting for the confirmation of appointment of Mrs. Aisha Ahmad as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, as well as confirmation of appointments of members of the Monetary Policy Committee of the CBN. The lawmakers adopted a motion moved by Senator representing Oyo Central, Monsurat Sumonu, to recognize the girl child and challenges faced and look towards improving their status in the society.
The United Nations observed that the world's 1.1 billion girls are a source of power, energy and creativity, and millions of girls in emergencies are no exception.
There is the need
for gender-friendly senators who abound in this chamber to support the Senate, the 8th Senate, to give equal opportunities and gender balance a chance.
To urge the federal government to ensure the implementation of the UBE Act in all states of the Federation. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Ensure the domestication and implementation of the Child Rights Acts in the 13 states that are yet to do so. Those in support of this prayer say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
The Senate received the report of the Committee on Housing and Urban Development on the 2017 budget of the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, while consideration was also given to the report of the Senate Committee on Information and National Orientation. A bill for an act to provide for the inauguration or swearing in of the President and Vice President of Nigeria to be carried out within the confines of the Parliament, as it is done in other democracies past a third reading.
This bill is in recognition of the fact that the legislature is the assemblage of the representatives of the entire country, and as such, it will not be out of place for such an important national event to take place in the National Assembly.
Plenary resumes next week. From the National Assembly, Dennis Adegunloye, NTA News.
The federal government is playing its role of an enabler, strategically engaging the private sector in policy formulation and implementation of as it strives to achieve sustainable economic inclusion in the country. Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, stated this as the 23rd Nigerian Economic Summit ends in Abuja. Correspondent Vivian Idekwefo reports.
Economic inclusion and the business case for a united Nigeria were the focus areas on the final panel. Minister of State, Budget and National Planning disclosed that milestones achieved in the execution of executive orders in addressing challenges in ease and speed of doing business in the country point to the fact that government is desirous of an all-inclusive economy.
Governance is being done. We're hoping to move government to work as businesses work.
Right.
But it's not happening overnight. You have a civil service that you also have to reform.
Panelists were unanimous that Nigeria has the capacity to conquer the fourth industrial revolution as government and other players collaborate, building on the country's diversity.
Much in the same way as Africa could claim the 21st century by significant quantum leap in terms of human capability. We are that country that could become a provocation to the world.
3 young Nigerian entrepreneurs out of the 263 applicants emerged winners of the Maiden Startup Pitch event worth $15,000, $10,000 and $5,000 from investors to boost their businesses. In Abuja, Vivian Idekbefo, NTA News.
World Bank in latest report predicts Nigerian economy to achieve moderate growth in 2018. Plus, reports on the way forward for Nigeria's economy. Let's join Muplang Dakok on Business News.
Hello there, thank you for joining me. A new World Bank report projects Nigeria's economic growth at a modest 1% in 2018. This is against the 2.3% prediction by the International Monetary Fund. The report estimates sub-Saharan Africa's growth at 3.2% in 2018 and 3.5% in 2019. The World Bank report also raises concern about Nigeria's debt service to revenue ratio, saying it is not sustainable. As Nigeria continues with plans to close its huge infrastructure deficit, an advocate for public-private partnership says there is need to leverage on the public-private partnership model to achieve its goal and attract foreign direct investments.
We need to come up with policies, programs, targeted policies and programs that are designed to identify, enable, and encourage young people.
Still on strengthening Nigerian economy, Postmaster General of the Federation, Adebisi Adebuyi, says reforms in NIPOST are geared towards boosting the economic base of the nation to consolidate on the economic gains made by the present administration.
We have deployed a electronic stamp solution, which means we can sell our stamps both manually and electronically. We will have stamp agents. That has a multiplier effect. That has huge employment generating potential.
And on the stock market, equities on the Nigerian Stock Exchange closed on a positive note as the all-share index gained plus 0.22%. Here's how the market fared. And that's it from this segment. I am Moplang Dakok.
Thank you, Moplang. Yobe State Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has called on NNPC to begin oil prospecting in Yobe sector of the Lake Chad Basin. The governor said this when he visited the group managing director of the NNPC, saying that structural geologic similarities between Yobe State and neighboring Chad and Niger Republic, where oil has been found in commercial quantities in their sectors of the Lake Chad Basin, may point to the availability of hydrocarbon deposits in the state.
This policy direction of the federal government is of interest to us because the basin covers a large area including Yobe State. I would like to commend the cooperation for its efforts to realize the federal government's objective.
The group managing director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, assured that the corporation will reinvigorate exploratory activities in 7 hydrocarbon basins in the country. He maintained that the NNPC is determined to ensure opening up of modalities for investors to explore identified areas. In a similar development, considering the geographical location of Akwa Ibom State, the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has advised the Akwa Ibom State government and investors in the oil and gas industry to form partnership for the establishment of a refinery. Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Mekanti Baru, made the proposal at a workshop in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. The establishment of the new refinery, coupled with the current efforts in rehabilitating existing refineries and the Petroleum Industry Governance Bill, the GMD stressed, will greatly address inadequacies in the sector. The GMD commended the existing cordial relationship with the various labor unions in the sector and management of the NNPC. The Cross River State government has commended President Muhammadu Buhari for appointment of transaction advisor for the Bakassi Deep Sea Port project. Governor Ben Ayade made the commendation at the State Executive Council chambers in Calabar after a presentation by some companies seeking to invest in the state. Uru Agetim has details.
Governor Ayade said the appointment of the transaction advisor for the multi-billion naira project is a demonstration of President Buhari's commitment to his words and love for the people of Cross River State. The governor recalled that the president had, during the groundbreaking ceremony for the project, promised to assist the state to actualize its signature projects.
The government approves a transaction advisor for the Bakassi Deep Sea Port. It is obvious and very clear that he has done that with a clarity of thought and understanding.
His River State counterpart, Nyesom Wike, who was also in Calabar, lauded President Buhari for looking beyond party lines to approve the appointment of transaction advisor for Bakassi Deep Sea Port, while also commending the clean nature of Cross River State.
Congratulate and thank Mr. President for that approval, irrespective of the fact that there are different political parties. I do know that it is going to push crossover scale from where it is to the next level. So
Ayade stressed that when the project is completed, it will attract more investors to the state, thereby boosting its revenue as well as that of the country. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
Etiquette and values are two fundamental ingredients for nation building and a better future. These views were expressed by guests on NTA's current affairs program, Moment for Thought.
Leadership should be seen as stewardship, responsibility given by God.
All of us are better than one of us. So if you want to be better, you remain with the whole. With the whole.
Moment for Thought comes up tonight at 11:30 on NTA Network Service. Lagos Network centers the next set of reports, and Jennifer is our guide. Hello, Jennifer.
Hello, Ainde. Good evening and a warm welcome to Lagos. Churches in Nigeria have been challenged to do more in contributing to the educational development of the country and be change agents for overall national development. Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, who was represented, gave the charge at the 2017 Excellence Award ceremony in Lagos. Kenneth Beluge reports that the event was organized by the Upper Room Baptist Church, Ketu, Lagos.
Faced with multiple crises of national development and corporate social morality, Nigerian Christians are today confronted with the challenge of sustaining and promoting the core values of love, truth, justice, and peace for national development. Discussing the theme, health, education, and human capital development, the role of the church, the Minister of Health represented said there is need for the church to partner with the government in improving all the sectors in the country since government cannot do it all.
It is quite clear that the church is strategic in the task of building a developed Nigeria.
As part of his drive to improve the standard of education in its environment, the Upper Room Baptist Church rewarded secondary school students who performed excellently in the 2015 and 2016 West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination.
With education, we decided we will be giving an award to motivate the students and the teachers and the principals to work more.
It's a way of saying that they should work harder in all their areas of callings.
So the award will motivate me in the sense that in the future I have better things to do and better competitors ahead of me.
At least the efforts that I try to put in, there is something to actually show for it.
The Upper Room Baptist Church Ketu was established 30 years ago. This is the 4th edition of the Excellence Award for Public Secondary School in Koshofe Zone, Education District 2 in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
The Standard Organization of Nigeria has once again taken its campaign train on the dangers of substandard products to Alaba International Market in Ojo, Lagos. Lindeneke reports that the Director General of SON reaffirmed the determination of the agency to bring unscrupulous importers and local manufacturers to book when caught.
The stakeholders meeting became imperative following efforts by the federal government to rid Nigeria's market of fake and substandard products and also make the trading environment easy. The aim of the meeting is to sensitize dealers of electrical products on the dangers of importing and selling life-threatening products to Nigerians. The Director General of the Standard Organizations of Nigeria, while responding to the presentations of the electrical products dealers, urged them to desist from selling substandard products as the agency is fully empowered to prosecute defaulters.
If you do the right thing, SON will be there to protect your business. And if you take advantage of our liberal means of doing business or the ease of business, we'll go after you and prosecute you accordingly.
So SON is not harming anybody, but I know that transformation is not a daily business. By special grace of God, those who have not complied with, will comply.
Issues bordering on products registration, enforcement, compliance to set standards, testing and market surveillance were brought to the fore. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Network News. It's now time for a commercial break. The news will return shortly with Ayinde Shoaga in Abuja. Please stay with us.
But there's something else it gives us. When we see such beauty, we want to share it with those we love. That's what LG wants you to see. Just what we see now through our technology. LG OLED TV.
Happier by Chivita. Burst of refreshment.
House of Chi.
The Administrative Staff College of Nigeria, ASCON, invites legal personnel in the military, paramilitary, tertiary institutions, ministries, departments, corporations, commissions, and agencies at federal and state levels to its 3-day national conference on legal administrative imperatives towards transforming and development of human resource management in the Nigerian public service. Date: first run 6th to 8th November 2017, second run 20th to 22nd November 2017. Venue: ASCON Complex, Chopo Badagry, Lagos. Fee: 75,000 naira per delegate. Payment mode: ASCON e-collection account payable at any commercial bank. Account number 02-300-5586-1019. For further inquiries, please contact Kolawole Alagbe, Workshop Director on 0033307408 or Haruna Kapo, Workshop Coordinator on 0023-933-466. Announcer, Director General, ASCON.
The Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, the Made in Nigeria campaign. In the midst of unprecedented multiple challenges, our great country Nigeria, as Africa's largest economy, is surely marching on to a new era of all-round prosperity, especially through re-engineered and diversified economy, powerfully driven by the change agenda of President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR.
We will patronize local entrepreneurs. We will promote the manufacturing powerhouses. Our objective is to make Nigeria a new manufacturing hub.
It is not time to complain. It is time to join the campaign. It is time for economic recovery, growth and diversification of our economy by Made in Nigeria.
Fatai is in our Ibadan Network Center. Hello, Fatai.
Thank you, Ayinde. Good evening and a warm welcome to Ibadan. The governor of Kwara State, Abdul Fattah Ahmed, has advocated the restructuring of the nation's education sector with focus on technological innovation of the 21st century. The governor stated these while receiving the Forum of Vice Chancellors in Ilorin. Abdul Hafiz Alaya completes the report.
Governor Ahmed noted that there's a huge gap between human capital development and needs of the country, which must be bridged for Nigeria to attain the desired growth and economic development. The governor maintained that with considerable level of autonomy and sustainable funding, Nigerian universities can take a driver's seat in propelling the nation's development.
Today, IT creates a major support for employment, but how much of it can we tap as a country? Because our human capital capacity is still weak. We require to enhance it to take advantage of all the available platforms that technology is driving today.
He also challenged federal government to take over the funding of basic level education from local government for it to recover our lost glory. The leader of the forum, Professor Debo Adeyewa, had earlier commended the synergy between the Kwara State government and universities in the state, which he said has engendered growth and harmonious environments. In Ilorin, Abdelafiz Alaya, NTA News.
That's it from Ibadan. Over to you, Ayinde.
We have more reports after this timeout.
Helen! You do great value shopping. Absolutely. I'm a champion at getting value. Then you must have bought the Hapic 200 ml. Why Hapic when I have this? Even after applying them 10 times, they won't give a sparkling clean toilet. Impossible. Challenge.
Detergent and bleach can't give a sparkling clean toilet even after 10 times. But Hapic 200 ml gives a sparkling clean toilet at one go.
Wow!
Hapic 200 ml. Real deal. Now only 200 naira.
Dettol team is visiting schools to teach children how to protect themselves from diseases. Do you know how we get illnesses like diarrhea, cough, and cold? No! They are spread through germs on your hands. Your hands collect germs that causes diseases. You pick up germs from any surface, like when you don't wash your hands after going to the toilet, while playing. And then you can get sick because of germs. That's why you need to fight germs to stay healthy by washing your hands regularly with Dettol soap to protect from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Wash, wash, wash your hands. What you have to do is wash, wash, wash your hands with Dettol soap.
Tamara Ebiwe is our guide on sports update.
Nigerian men's hockey team continued their build-up to the 2017 Africa Hockey Cup of Nations with a 3-1 defeat of their Union Bank counterparts in a friendly game midweek in Abuja. Head coach Tunde Odedokun says more work needs to be done on the team